Excellent. So, welcome. I'm honored to be here again. It's my official second time that I'm here, and I almost overslept my second time, but everything just went well in time, so I'm here. Is there anybody who doesn't speak any English? Yeah? So there are people here that don't speak English? Yes, okay, no problem. So, good morning.
Buenos días.
That's your job. You have to translate. Buenos días.
Creo que ha dicho buenos días, tampoco te
So, a lot has happened since last year, at least with me. So, I did a workshop last time on biomechanics.
Ha pasado bastantes cositas desde el año pasado. Él estuvo aquí el año pasado y dio unas clases de biomecánica.
And the biomechanics was based on, and it still is, because of my wrist problems, and that I changed a lot of things around concerning movement with the weapons, because the doctors told me that I couldn't fence anymore.
Empezó el trabajo de biomecánica porque tuvo un problema con las muñecas y el médico le dijo que si no dejaba la esgrima o empezaba a cambiar las cosas, se iba a quedar sin ellas. Así que empezó a cambiar el modo de agarrar, el modo de llevar las espadas.
But 1 month after I was here, I had a really bad accident, and my knee was in two, so it was like this. And I've been now in rehab, so rehabilitation now for almost exactly like a year now. And I'm walking, but I was handicapped for 3 months completely. And so I'm very happy that I'm back again, live and kicking, and my leg is actually working for 85%, so I'm already happy to be able to kick ass a little bit.
Poco después de venir aquí tuvo un accidente y se destrozó la rodilla, así que lleva de rehabilitación casi como un año. Ahora tiene la pierna como un 85% y está contento porque se puede mover un poquito aunque con cuidado y bueno, como que ahora puede patear culos un poco.
So basically also for my own leg and for everybody's legs and knees, we're going to also do some specific exercises to prevent you from doing something stupid like I did. So,
Así que vamos a empezar a hacer ahora cosas para evitar que la gente se rompa las muñecas y la rodilla y haga cosas estúpidas como la que él hizo.
So we're going to start off with a combination of biomechanics combined with sparring situations. And I know that a lot of people here also do sparring. So what I want to concentrate on is movement, and also especially the voorslag, which means the first strike or the first step when you go into a combat situation.
Vale, lo que vamos a hacer ahora va a ser una mezcla de biomecánicas y combate porque sabe que la gente aquí combate bastante, entonces nos vamos a basar en una situación de combate hipotética para utilizar la biomecánica y nos vamos a basar en el voorslag, que es básicamente el primer ataque a la hora de entrar.
And then we're going to work on the schnitt and the durchwechselen and how to provoke your enemy to work against the little openings.
Vale, y vamos a trabajar también en los cortes y cómo provocar a nuestro contrincante para utilizar las cuatro aperturas.
So basically what we're going to do. So for now, we're going to find ourselves a spot in the gym and create a little bit of space so you don't cut off somebody's head while you're busy.
Así que hacer un poquito de espacio.
You can have your sword, you don't need your mask. Well, my sword looks horrible. It looks like it's been stuck in a dinosaur's ass, but don't watch that because I didn't take good care of it. So, first of all, we're going to start off with basic stuff again for everybody, because I always repeat these things. Position. So let's say we are in a sparring situation and you want to make sure your first blow lands. Well, first you need to know, how the hell are you going to stand? What is the maximum position where you can stand in to execute your attack?
Vale, vamos a empezar por los básicos, que es nos vamos a poner en la posición que bueno, después nos vamos a basar en el golpe, pero ahora nos vamos a basar en la posición y la distancia que tenemos que tener para el ataque y la posición correcta.
So let's say we take a high position for the people that, so take some space, find a space. You can also. So first important thing I always tell is you have to understand that the relationship with your weapon is like relationship with your partner. You know, you have to not constrain too much. You have to let the other person have his freedom and do his own thing, because if you want to control too much, you know, people want to get away from you, and also your sword will try to get away from you. So,
bueno, para empezar, tenéis que tener en cuenta que vuestra relación con la espada tiene que ser como la misma. Perdón. Tenéis que tener en cuenta un poquito a la hora de agarrar la espada que es como tenéis que tenerlo que es como vuestra pareja. Si la agarráis demasiado fuerte, se va a querer escapar y ¿vale? Hay que agarrarlo con gentileza, hay que agarrarlo suave.
So basically, your hands have to be relaxed. So you have your index finger and your thumb. These are your control, so you don't lose the weapon. And you can have them fixed a little bit, but these fingers have to be really relaxed. You should be able to play piano on it while you are in a sparring situation. Yeah, because if you control this too much, your elbows will be tensed, your shoulder will be tensed, and basically it will go down, and your hips will be tensed, and you will not be able to execute a strike, and especially not without cueing, so without showing what your intentions are.
Las manos tienen que estar relajadas, básicamente con el pulgar y con el índice podemos agarrar abajo y arriba, y el resto de los dedos tienen que estar relajados para en una situación de combate poder agarrarlo de una manera y poder cambiarlo y estar predispuesto a hacer cosas. De otro modo, si agarramos muy fuerte, tensamos el codo, tensamos los hombros y además podemos enseñar a nuestro oponente qué es lo que vamos a hacer.
So that's basically it. So, your position, your knee should be bent, yeah? But if you have a fighting position, there's a difference between sparring and a real fight with sharp weapons. But basically, it is more or less the same, but there are some little differences.
Primero, la posición. Esto va a variar también un poco si vamos a estar combatiendo de verdad o haciendo sparring con un compañero, haciendo un poco de combate con un compañero. La posición es básicamente la misma, pero cambia un poquito, ¿vale?
Because if you are in a sparring situation, it does not matter too much if you are standing straight, but if you are working with sharp weapons, you already have to consider your basic inside veins to make sure these are not a target area and to protect them with your bigger muscles. So closing off the line and making sure your cojones are in that direction.
Para nuestros combates está bien, es válido tener lo que es la zona de la pelvis apuntando para adelante porque no va a pasar demasiado, pero en un combate con un arma afilada real tenemos que intentar bloquear la máxima capacidad de nuestro oponente para golpearnos, la cantidad de espacio que tenemos, así que para tapar las venas, las femorales y todo, estaría bien taparlo con el cuádriceps, así que por eso los huevos apuntando a la pared, ¿vale?
Okay, enough talk, so let's do something. So basically, your knee is here, your other leg is, your toe is pointing slightly forward, but important is that your knee is always pointing towards your toe. So you should not be hovering too much. Let's say your knee should not be in this kind of awkward angle. If you want to attack, you need muscle tension to build up and to be explosive going forward, like an athletic person, you know? Like an athletic. You want to attack, the power comes from your leg, boom, and you want to hit. We're talking about one hit on the mask, done. No defense, nothing. Like playing tennis, poof, there goes the ball, and there was nothing you can do about it.
La primera pierna para adelante, un poco doblada, la pierna pasada con la punta de los pies tirando un poquito para adelante y un poquito torcida, y la rótula apuntando en la misma dirección que nuestros dedos de los pies, ¿vale? O sea, no vale tener la pierna así y la rótula apuntando para otro lado, primero porque es peligroso y luego porque no nos da el reprise que necesitamos para salir. La posición tiene que ser casi como la de un corredor, tiene que ser explosiva.
So, we're going to make first a few strikes for everybody. So basically what you're going to move is from right diagonal to left below. So how does a strike look like? First you pretend you have a ball on your sword and you have a dog. Yeah? The ball goes on the sword, you throw it forwards, the dog runs after it. It's very important that you do not mix up the ball with the sword, because then the exercise would work for real. The dog out there and the ball. But anyways, so that's basically how you do it. So you have to strike straight. This is a circle. Well, first explain.
Vale, el primer ejercicio, lo que vamos a hacer va a ser básicamente una diagonal. Vamos a imaginarnos que tenemos una pelota en la punta de la espada y tenemos un perro. Y lo que vamos a hacer básicamente es lanzar la pelota para que el perro vaya corriendo por ella. ¿Vale? Entonces...
Yeah. So, this is a circle, this is the center of the circle. The center of the circle has to be as high as possible. And I need to explain these things before we start, because people have to be aware while they're doing it, what they're doing. So, there. Target is the head. You use this leg as a support, going forward. As soon as the weapon goes, it draws your shoulder forward, it draws your hip forward. In combination with the tension in your leg, you make the strike. But your strike comes before the step. So from here, it comes forward, followed by your step. Yeah? So what we're going to do is 2 strikes, let's say 4. You're going to move forward. 1. Strike, standing in this position, coming up, 45 degrees backwards, and you immediately from here move, using your support, your leg, to make another strike. Coming up, striking, pushing with your right leg. So it is strike and then step. Strike and step. Strike and step. So you have to feel the weapon pulling your leg forwards. So you're going to try that. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Yeah? Very basic, but you have to stand upright. You cannot first step and then strike. You cannot move your sword backwards and strike. No, it has to be static. Your weapon goes forwards. Nobody sees what you're doing. Your weapon comes forward. You do not see tension in your muscle. The weapon comes forward and your leg comes. But I'll explain what happens with the legs a little bit later on. And you have to continue your strike completely down. So do not turn already here, what you are doing. The strike has to go all the way down and up. So do not turn in the center with your short edge down and then come up. It is completely going through and coming up again. Yeah? We're doing exaggerated movement. Okay, I'm gonna count, so it is 1, 2, back. 1, 2.
¿Hay alguien que no haya cogido lo que ha dicho? ¿Hay alguien que no haya cogido lo que ha dicho? Oscar, lo repito, ¿eh? Vale. Bueno, lo que me acuerdo lo repito. Si no oís bien, acercaros un poquito, ¿vale? Para no tapar...
Aquí hay sitio. El que
Sí.
no oiga bien...
El que no oiga bien, que se acerque un poco. Vale, básicamente vamos a empezar con una sucesión de golpes, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces, para empezar, primero lo que hacemos es soltamos la espada, nos ayudamos un poco con la pierna, pero no marcamos no empezamos primero con la pierna y después el golpe, soltamos el golpe, cuando soltamos el golpe entero, gira la cadera y entonces damos el paso, el golpe termina al final de todo, el golpe es completo, terminamos aquí, luego vamos a agarrar, subimos, damos otro golpe, lo mismo, nos ayudamos un poco con la pierna, damos otro golpe, golpe completo y vamos a hacerlo en sucesión varias veces. Lo dicho, el golpe no empieza en la pierna, el golpe empieza con el brazo, vamos soltando y después movemos la pierna. No tiramos el brazo hacia atrás, ¿vale? No avisamos a nuestro oponente de qué es lo que vamos a hacer. Tampoco tenemos sobretensión en el cuádriceps para enseñarle qué es lo que vamos a hacer.
They do not first move the feet and they do not move the short backwards. And also tell them that you have to do it because maybe in the beginning like a little boring exercise, but they have to do everything correct because the next exercise we're going to do, they will do
Una cosa que tenemos que tener en cuenta, los movimientos estos parecen exagerados, pero los estamos haciendo así aposta. Para el siguiente ejercicio me ha dicho que esto lo tenemos que hacer perfecto, porque si no la vamos a cagar en el siguiente, ¿de acuerdo? O sea, parece muy básico, es algo muy básico, pero vamos a hacerlo al pie de la letra, ¿de acuerdo? Porque para lo siguiente que va a venir debe ser importante.
So they have to concentrate. Every strike, I say 1, 2, 3, 4. Every strike they have to think about, is my weapon steady? Is my position steady? I'm not cueing. As soon as I say go, it goes forward as fast as possible, followed by the foot.
Tenéis que tener en cuenta, primero, mi arma está aquí, mi posición está aquí, no estoy enseñando nada, el ataque tiene que ser directo, rápido, y esa es la primera posición. Y luego vamos a pasar a la siguiente.
Okay, go stand. Fighting position. Is that your fighting stance? Left foot forward. Okay.
¿Eres zurdo?
Okay, there we go. Uno! 2. 3. Backwards. No, you have to move your circle. Stays up here. This plane. This stays here. You push forward. Boom. To the head. Straight. And it comes from here. Pushing. Boom. And when you come forward, you step. It has to be fast. Fast and furious. Like the movie. Yeah? So if you're in a sparring situation, you could also be moving like that, but now you're static, like a runner. Yeah? So you come forward, and you strike.
Ten en cuenta, tenemos la espada aquí, el movimiento tiene que ser recto, recto y rápido, ¿vale? ¿De acuerdo? Y cuando damos el golpe recto y rápido, entonces damos el paso y terminamos abajo.
Okay, there we go. 1. There. Do it. Back. 3. So you must realize that the distance is not that I'm trying to hit him. This would be like a strike to the weapon, let's say, to displace the weapon and come in. Or make a strike, boom, and come in. You know?
Vale. Ahora nos vamos a poner parejas, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces nos vamos a poner en posición, uno le va a estar apuntando a la cara y uno de ellos lo que va a intentar hacer es golpear lo más rápido que podemos a la parte superior de la espada, ¿de acuerdo? La distancia no es la cabeza de nuestro amigo, la distancia es la parte superior de la espada.
Okay, so there's tension in the legs. Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit his sword, and he's gonna. No, you don't have to do for now anything. So I'm just coming in, and I do not cue. I do not go like. I do not go like. I'm gonna stay relaxed and move forward. Yeah, so I'm gonna go from here. And I move towards him. I can try to strike more the center of the blade. So I'm going to move here. And I'm concentrating every time on my strike. So basically I'm trying not to move and immediately to attack. Instead of coming in, moving backwards, or cueing with my foot. Yeah? So last one, I'm sliding here. So you see already that I'm pushing really with my leg. I'm pushing backwards with this leg, so it's like a spring. So I'm pushing, this one is static. As soon as I let this one go, it means this one goes forward. Or pressure here, I let this one go, and this one can move.
Si os fijáis, la posición y como tiene las piernas ahora mismo es como un sprint. Si él suelta esta pierna, hace la fuerza en esta pierna, entonces sigue para adelante. Si la hace con la otra pierna va para adelante.
So basically that's what you're gonna do. So in a sparring situation, it would be like going and you don't know what's coming, and you step in and you make a strike. So do that first, a few times, till you think you have the speed and the power and the accuracy. Yeah, keep your distance. You can wear your mask and some gloves. The idea is to hit somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Vale, ahora vamos a hacer esto. Recordad, vamos a hacer unas cuantas veces hasta que hayamos cogido la fuerza, la distancia y la puntería suficiente. Si queréis poneros máscara y poneros unos guantes, ¿vale? Para mayor seguridad.
Okay, let's go. So you want to stand behind the line, and he cannot crawl any closer. This is his starting position. So what he can do is, of course, cross it. But when you're starting out, let's say I'm standing there, I cannot come in closer. So I am here. So he determines the distance, but this is like magic force field. So if he's standing there, and let's say he's very close by, then I don't need to move with my right leg, and it's easy because the pressure and power comes from my hip. I'm standing here, and if he would want to respond, let's say drop his weapon, so let's say I come with a cue, and you drop your weapon, and I miss. Yeah. So, but if you drop your weapon, it has to move to the side, because if somebody steps in, we go down. So we have to move to the side. But for now, we're not doing that. But as an example. Can you translate that?
Vale, lo que vamos a hacer ahora es nos vamos a poner en una línea, básicamente porque creo que todos damos mini pasitos que nos van acercando y cortando un poquito la distancia. Así que nos vamos a poner, el que ataca se va a poner en una línea y el que defiende va a decidir la distancia, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces va a decidir si la distancia es larga y la persona que ataca da un paso, o si la distancia es corta y no necesitamos dar un pasito para atacar. ¿De acuerdo? La de la distancia también, tener en cuenta que el compañero podría apartar la espada y entonces lo comemos, pero ahora no lo vamos a hacer.
So this will be easy. He stands close, so you start close, and I only have to come from here, and I just move forward. That's it. Easy. I come in, easy. But he steps backwards, more. Then I can maybe still hit him. He moves a little bit more backwards. I have to now pass with my foot, so it becomes really difficult. So I come in and I have to move forwards. Yeah? So I pass the line. Yeah? I come in, boom, and I make the strike. So try to concentrate. The other person will just stand there, but of course it's going to be more difficult because he's gonna later on take his weapon away as soon as he sees that you are in fact attacking. But that's the next step.
Vale, nos ponemos así, vamos a hacer esto y luego va a ser un poquito más difícil porque la otra persona va a intentar apartar la espada, ¿vale? ¿De acuerdo?
So, take a line,
coger una línea, coger la distancia.
And what we have been talking about.
Vale, ahora vamos a hacer el ejercicio de verdad para ver si realmente hemos cogido de qué estamos hablando.
He already did it. How is it? Difficult?
Well.
So basically, you have to now fight the other opponent's visual capability of being able to spot your intentions. Yeah?
Vale, ahora lo que vamos a hacer es vamos a jugar a ver si podemos engañar a nuestro enemigo de que no sepa qué es lo que vamos a hacer y al contrario, vamos a ver si nosotros somos capaces de ver cuando nuestro compañero nos va a atacar.
So let's say we do the exercise. I cannot cross this line, and he is having his weapon. Yeah, you have your weapon, and let's say you drop your weapon
Like that.
to the side. So your weapon goes. You're standing here, so your weapon goes.
Por si cargáis, por si la persona que ataca carga, en vez de bajarlo para abajo, para no clavarla, bajarla hacia un lado. ¿Vale?
So now you have to think more like a machine gun, that everything has to be perfect. You have to, you know, like the sniper, you have the wind, calculating the wind. You know, okay, this has to be static, I have to have a good position, everything has to be perfect. If I sneeze, if I do something stupid, I miss. Yeah, so from here, the triangle has to be fixed, I have to be fixed, everything has to be perfect.
Vale, pensar que esto tiene que ser ahora perfecto, tiene que funcionar como una máquina. Todo tiene que estar perfecto, es como un francotirador. Tiene en cuenta el viento, tiene que estar parado, cualquier fallo la caga, ¿vale?
And actually this is how most people now win all the tournaments, the people that understand this principle. Yeah, and the Polish guys, the Slovakian guys, they're all just also calculating only the foreslag. It's very annoying.
De hecho, así muchas veces es como se suele ganar los torneos con el foreslag. Los polacos, esta gente calculan realmente bien, calculan realmente bien el foreslag y la verdad es que es bastante encabronante.
That's why also Rory is now winning all the championships.
Y por eso uno de esos chicos, Rory, es el que está ganando.
Because he has a lot of power in his legs. So basically, I have to move. If he comes close, it's fairly easy because his weapon will be here. I do not have to step, so I do not have to worry so much about cueing with my legs.
Si nuestro oponente está cerca, es más fácil porque él no tiene que dar el paso, no se tiene que preocupar de no delatar la posición con las piernas. Eso solamente se tiene que ocupar solamente de la espada.
This could be in a real fight. You're standing, you know, and you're checking the distance, and you make one strike to his hands, and you move out of there. So it's basically it comes in, and you strike las manos. So I come in now for the sword. He is going to drop it. So not when he thinks, but when he sees. Yeah. Make sure there's not a rhythm like. You wait 1 second, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds.
El defensor va a bajar la espada no cuando él cree, sino cuando lo ve. Lo digo porque muchas veces entramos en ritmo de golpeo, estamos golpeando y ya es casi automático. Cuando lo ve, esperamos un tiempo aleatorio, 1 segundo, 2 segundos, 3 segundos entre ataque y ataque, ¿vale?
So I come without a response. This is like Western. Yeah. So I have to make sure that I'm relaxed. If I'm tensed, yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah, because I'm tensed. Yeah, I want to put power in, misses. So I have to relax. I should also not move too much. So I have to relax. Ooh, nice. Good. Yeah, so now one more distance further. I'm going to concentrate. So, but it's difficult for him, for me, because he is just watching me. You know, so it's very, very annoying. I'm taking my time to concentrate, not to cue, not to over concentrate, but to relax. Yeah? So. And I have to speed things up, and he's just concentrating. So you're going to try closer and closer. If you miss all the time, you are going to put your response time a little bit relaxed. So you're going to take a little bit more casual. The better he is, so you also have to motivate your training partner a little bit. Because if you're really, really sharp, it becomes very difficult to hit it. So, but you should be able to hit it once in 3 times if you're not cueing and paying attention. But also you can use your eyes. You can maybe, if you make it easier for yourself, difficult for him, you can start moving. Because this is the difficult, really difficult. Static and attack.
Vale, cuando estamos haciendo esto es muy difícil para la persona que está atacando, estando estáticos es muy difícil que no le pillen, o sea, porque es complicadísimo. Entonces tendríamos que pillarle una vez de cada 3 veces. Si vemos que no, que estamos fallando todo el rato, que la persona que está defendiendo relaje un poco el ritmo para permitir también coger un poco el rollo de cómo se hacen las cosas, ¿de acuerdo? E incluso la persona que está atacando, si ve que no está funcionando, empezar a moveros, relajar un poquito para quitar un poco esa, ¿vale? Esa manera de que nos vaya a pillar.
And you will find that with so minimum strikes, you will be sweating like a mule.
Y veréis que con muy poquitos ataques vas a estar sudando como una mula. No
So, anyways, I want to try one more time. So I need to be relaxed. Okay, I'm gonna finish with the good one. So, go and try it. Very,
Aparte de lentos, ¿vais bien? ¿Cómo lo vais llevando?
slow. Very slow. Okay, we're gonna change partners, and we're gonna do the same exercise, but you can now move more. So it's also okay. It's not okay to make feints, like and then attack, but you can just move. And your opponent will think somewhere down the line there's an attack coming. We already had it a few times, so that you want to drop your weapon, but it was not an attack. So you lift up. That's the moment where you strike, because then you have a clear hit, because he's compensating. Boom, and you hit. Understand?
Vale, ahora vamos a, bueno, para empezar cambiamos parejas y vamos a cambiar un poquito el ejercicio, lo vamos a hacer un poco más divertido. Nos vamos a mover un poco más, ¿vale? Ahora nos podemos mover, no se pueden hacer fintas, pero nos podemos mover un poco más. Y entonces veréis, nos ha pasado a él y a mí, que cuando el defensor cree que tú vas a soltar el ataque, baja la espada, y luego es cuando viene el ataque. Vais a verlo un poquito, está bien.
For example, static is difficult, because I have to move from here and I have to attack. Stepping is more difficult, static, so I'm further away, so I have to move statically. Shit. And but moving is easier. So you move, he moves, and he keeps his weapon more or less in the same spot, and you just move. But you cannot make feints. So sword is on your shoulder, but maybe he's going to respond sooner or later to some movement, maybe not. Yeah? Maybe he thinks that something is coming, he drops his weapon, and comes back, and I hit him. Choo-choo, boom, and you hit him. So basically, do they understand this? So if we do the game a little bit, I do 3 strikes, you do 3 strikes. So we're just moving. Just without step. With step, also with step. He comes in. He comes in with the strike. Yeah? So if it happens and he is in a position that I think he's hitting, so let's say you're not hitting, but I'm dropping my weapon. So I think boom, and he immediately come up and he strikes. So basically, coming in, I think shit, and he comes in, boom. I go down, come up, poof, and immediately strike. Because at that moment you have control over your adversary and he responded. But you have to see it and immediately respond. Yeah? And he cannot lure you, like making a false. He can only respond when he thinks there's a real attack.
¿Más o menos habéis entendido? El ejercicio lo habéis entendido, ¿verdad? Vale, pues eso, no podemos hacer una finta, no podemos, la espada siempre tiene que estar en el hombro, pero sencillamente con el movimiento podemos hacer pensar al otro que vamos a atacar, y en el momento que nuestro oponente baja el arma y lo vuelve a subir, ha perdido totalmente el control de ese movimiento, entonces nosotros le damos, ¿vale?
Yeah. So if we've done this, we're going to do the exercise a little bit more interesting with fencing mask, and you're going to hit people in the snout.
Y luego esto lo vamos a hacer con máscaras y lo vamos a hacer más interesante y les vamos a pegar en la cabeza.
If I think it's going to be everybody has correct masks. So change
Así
partner.
que todo el mundo que la máscara sea correcta, ¿vale? O sea, que esté bien, o sea, no, porque nos vamos a dar. Así que cambiar parejas.
Change partner and do it. And make sure you are a little bit of the same kind of skill.
Aseguraros de que más o menos tenéis la misma habilidad, ¿vale?
Yes, but the person can come a little bit closer and you work from this position. Boom, boom. If you have understanding and are able to hit the weapon, you can make the distance larger. For now, we're going to do another exercise, which is more or less in the same kind of line.
So, and it's called basically Nachtreisen, or out timing in the German fancy tradition. So, again, you have static step, or the static stance, sorry, and you have the step. The static one is easy, but some people still have problems. If you have problems, he just comes closer. So if he's having, for instance, his weapon, I miss all the time, he just comes closer, so I have less distance. Yeah, I hit him 2 out of 3 times, he can move backwards a little bit more, till I actually need to come and do the step. For now, we changed it around so you can play with it. I'm having my weapon, Alvaro is going to attack my sword. If he hits me, perfect, nothing. If he misses me, I need immediately to respond. So, I hit him in the head. So, I'm going to check. Nice, very good, very good, very good. Yeah, and I hit him. Once more. Yeah. So that's now basically the exercise. It's like you have to look and see what's going on. If he hits you, he gets 2 points. If he hits you. If you hit him, he gets 1 point, because it's more difficult for him to hit this. If you miss his head, he gets another point. So, this comes in, hits me, 2 points. He comes in, 1 point. He comes in, he gets the point. Because then we assume that he can, in a real fight, recover. Because he comes in, I miss, boom. Yeah? Technically we could already do this, but maybe we should leave that for the next exercise.
Ahora vamos a hacer esto con la careta, los guantes. Habéis visto más o menos la mecánica y el asunto viene. Si el atacante golpea la espada, tiene 2 puntos. Si el defensor evita la espada y le golpea en la cabeza, el defensor tiene 1 punto. Si el defensor evita la espada y falla el golpe en la cabeza, el atacante tiene 1 punto. ¿De acuerdo? Luego asumimos con esto que si el defensor ha conseguido evitar la espada y falla la cabeza, el atacante después le rebana.
So you make a game till 10.
Yeah. Así que hacéis el juego hasta 10 puntos.
Alright, let's go.
Cambiar de pareja. ¿Os habéis dado cuenta que estáis todo el rato centrados y tal, o ha habido mucha distensión? ¿Estáis, no? ¿Estáis bien concentrados?
So now the exercise.
Do I have my gloves?
Yeah, maybe better. So, I see one little thing that is not supposed to happen. So most people do it correctly, but if he comes in with the strike, and I'm slow, or let's say I'm fast, he's slow, so he comes in, meow, but I'm also slow. I see this happening. He's still standing there? No, he's just leaning there and he's like, yeah, this is what I see. So basically a little bit faster, it goes like this. He strikes, and he just waits there. But this is seriously, I see people have time just to step back and do groceries. You know? So basically if that happens, he comes in, I drop, and let's say, I have to miss, so I have to be fast. Yeah. And I come in like this, he can just move backwards if I'm that slow. Yeah, basically. But now, if this happens, for instance, and you miss, he comes in, and I miss here, immediately, fuck, he comes over and makes the strike to my head. Yeah?
So, but it's only when you miss. So that is only maybe once in so many times. But sword fighting is about that specific moment and recognizing it. So if this happens, it's a 3-step. You have to act. Only then. Because if you're going to think ahead, this might happen, then you will hit somebody in the hands. Because you have to make an agreement how this is done. That means strike, the hands stay down. He comes up and is allowed to strike. If he's too slow, you step backwards. And you can move backwards like this. Yeah? So you actually, or like this, or like that. Yeah? So you have time now to move your head out of the way. So, because he's not stupid. He misses me, but he also sees a sword coming at him. So if he has time to move his head or step backwards, it's good. So let's see. Yeah, so he can try to move back. Yeah, so if he sees that, yeah, he can still try to move. I have to be faster. If you see that somebody is moving with his head all the time, then he cannot move anymore, because then the other one is really too slow, and then there's also no learning process. So then he first has to be able to hit the mass. This is when somebody's hitting the mass all the time, you're going to make it a little bit more difficult for him.
Bueno, una cosa que ha visto, no a todo el mundo, pero sí. Perdón. Una cosa que ha visto, no a todo el mundo, pero sí a alguna gente, es que la gente responde muy lento. Si tú fallas, el tío se queda esperando, el tío o tía se queda esperando, hasta que la otra persona puede tardar el otro en tomarse un café hasta que termina de darle el golpe. La persona que ha atacado y ha fallado en el ataque no es tonto, quiere vivir, entonces está viendo cómo viene una espada hacia él, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces esa persona puede apartarse, ¿vale? Si la otra persona es muy lenta, puede apartarse, pero tener en cuenta una cosa, la persona que falla deja la espada abajo, ¿de acuerdo? Tiene que permitir que la otra persona ataque. Si es muy lento se puede apartar, pero tiene que permitir que la otra persona ataque, no puede parar el ataque, es decir, no levanta las manos, porque si levanta las manos a la larga nos vamos a dar en las manos, ¿vale? Y si esa persona falla, el contraataque tiene que ser rápido, tampoco se tiene que poder tomar un café el otro. Hay que hacerlo un poquito, ¿vale? Rápido, ¿de acuerdo?
So basically, if everybody gets it, then we can do one more example. So let's do it. See if we can do it high speed. And if you want to do it correctly, one person still remains behind the line. That's the best, and the other person determines the distance in which he can fight.
Si lo queremos hacer otra vez bien, como al principio, una persona detrás de la línea y es el defensor el que decide la distancia de nuestro ataque. ¿De acuerdo?
But the most important thing is the guy doing the exercise has to have a maximum efficient exercise. That means you have to go in the distance that he is more or less able to hit you, that it's more or less 50-50. If he misses you all the time, he's also not learning anything. Yeah?
Tener en cuenta que esto es para aprender y para mejorar, o sea que tendría que ser un ratio más o menos de 50 aciertos, 50 fallos, tener en cuenta un poquito la distancia. Si es muy complicado para la persona, relajarlo. Si es muy complicado para el defensor, relajarlo vosotros también, ¿vale? Esto es para aprender. Si no, no mejoramos nada.
Very good. So actually he gets the point now, eh? Nice. Yes, good. So, all right. So, but if he moves his head 4 or 5 times out of the way and I don't hit it, that means he's too fast for me. So he has to then once in a while not move his head, otherwise I get depressed. Yeah? And you have to have fun, and you have to train where the other guy, your partner, is comfortable. Yeah? Otherwise there's no learning process.
Como hemos dicho antes, si la persona puede apartar la cabeza 3 o 4 veces de nuestro ataque, igual es que es demasiado rápido. Tenemos que pensar un poquito en relajarlo para que el proceso de aprendizaje sea común para todo el mundo, ¿de acuerdo?
So don't do like he strikes and already moves his head. You know, like you're already thinking ahead. Your head is already doing that. Or before you do anything, you strike and you move your head. Yeah. That's not, you stand up straight, comes in, yeah, so you wait. Everybody is
no hagáis las
responsible
cosas-
for his partner.
No hagáis las cosas sabiendo que como después me va a atacar, ya si eso voy bajando la cabeza y así le evito. Las cosas a su tiempo. Primero recto, atacamos y luego cuando fallamos, si fallamos, bajamos la cabeza. ¿De acuerdo? Cada cual es responsable de su compañero.
All right, till 5 points, games, and then we switch through fast. Change partner.
5 puntitos más de este juego, cambiar de pareja.
Everybody still cool?
¿Todo bien por ahora?
Okay. So, we're gonna do now a distance management technique. So you already see this is more sparring oriented. You know, picking up on the opponent, not cueing, not showing what your intentions are. And now we're gonna move forwards and backwards explosively.
Vale, habéis visto que esto está orientado a combate, que no nos vea atacar bien. Ahora lo que vamos a hacer es movernos adelante y atrás constantemente, ¿vale? Más orientado a combate.
But also following somebody who moves backwards a lot, which happens often in
Y
sparring.
también vamos a estar siguiendo a una persona que tiende a tirar mucho para atrás, que pasa bastante.
Okay, but before we do that, we have one more little exercise, and it's basically the same one as we did, but you get an extra problem which you have to look at and see if your exercise improves with this one little thing.
Vale, vamos a seguir con este ejercicio, pero vamos a añadir una cosita más, ¿vale? Que va a mejorar el ejercicio una mijita.
And it is the legs again. A lot of people are relaxed, the upper body is relaxed. This is okay, but there has to be a basic tension in your muscles, because if you have a sword and it's leaning on your shoulder like this, then you need a signal to your muscles. The muscles have to contract. You have to give a signal where your muscle's supposed to go. That takes a lot of time. So with relaxed, I mean basic tension. But there has to be tension.
Tenemos que estar relajados, pero no relajados de tener la musculatura completamente suelta. Como tiene que haber una respuesta para que los músculos nos lleven a donde tenemos que llegar, donde queremos que lleguen, tenemos que estar relajados pero con un poquito de tensión, ¿vale? O sea, tiene que estar un poquito en tensión. Ni agarrados, ni totalmente sueltos, ¿de acuerdo?
So that means if you have your sword on the shoulder, that means if I would move my shoulder away, the sword is not leaning, the sword is touching. My hands are relaxed, but there is basic tension in my triceps. Yeah? There is already tension a little bit in my hips, but there is a lot of tension in my legs. A lot of tension. It's like a spring. That's why people that are really good fencers win a lot of tournaments. They cannot fight for a really long time because it's very tiring, because they have constantly a lot of power on the legs because it's like a spring.
Vale, si os fijáis, él tiene la espada por el hombro todo el rato, no está volando, la tiene en el hombro, parece que está suelta, las manos están relajadas, pero realmente tiene muchísima tensión, tiene algo de tensión en el tríceps y muchísima tensión en los cuádriceps, ¿vale? Que es lo que le va a dar el reprise. Por eso la gente que gana que gana torneos, que está ganando torneos fuera, no pueden luchar durante mucho tiempo porque es algo tremendamente cansado. Entonces tienen muchísima tensión para hacer el sprint de salida, para hacer el reprise.
I'm also convinced that why, like in MS 133, the sword buckler stuff, everybody is more or less walking on his toes. And if you look at the sword buckler people, everybody has basically this more like this athletic starting position, because everything depends on you moving as fast as you can forwards. And this is the other department, you know.
Si os fijáis en la gente que hace espada y broquel en 1.33, es gente que ya tiene muy bien cogida la posición, porque normalmente siempre tienden a estar sobre los dedos y los golpes tienen que ser muy rápidos, es algo que ya tienen un poquito cogido.
So, how does it work? You have to now do what you did, the same, but you have to concentrate, and you're pushing with this leg, you're pushing this other leg backwards. So, you're really pushing hard. There's a lot of tension. So, you have to really feel it's like there's a spring. You want to split the floor in two.
Vale, Vale, lo que vamos a hacer ahora es lo mismo que hemos hecho antes, pero teniendo énfasis en las piernas. Vamos a hacer mucha tensión hasta el punto que nos va a resbalar, vamos a meter muchísima tensión, como para soltar un muelle, ¿vale? Es como si quisiésemos partir el suelo en dos con nuestras piernas.
So and from there, you decide the distance and you let go of one of the two springs. So depending on the distance, you have to let go of one of the two springs.
Vale, dependiendo la distancia que tengamos con el enemigo, tenemos que hacer uno de los dos tipos de spring.
You can use this leg to let this leg relax and then this one jumps, passes, or you can keep tension on this leg and use this leg and this leg to jump forwards like that.
Vale, podemos dejar esta pierna más relajada, meter la tensión con esta pierna y seguir hacia adelante, o meter la presión con esta pierna, seguir hacia adelante.
Yes. So you can choose, because a lot of fighters now are also staying in this position, fighting with the right leg behind. And there are some manuscripts that have exactly that, but the majority of the Liefenhouwer tradition is actually stepping in with your strongest leg. So if you strike from the right, you step in with the right. But there are some manuscripts where it's contra. And this, maybe you should first step.
Okay.
So that means you're coming from here and you're striking, stepping out with the front.
Dice que muchísima gente, muchísimos luchadores ahora mismo están luchando en esta posición y saltando adelante, pero según Liefenhouwer, teóricamente tienes que atacar, en los manuscritos está que sueles atacar con la pierna que tienes más fuerte, pero que últimamente se está utilizando también mucho el
Which makes sense,
y tiene
because
bastante sentido.
your strongest leg is pushing and coming forward.
Lo cual tiene bastante sentido, porque la pierna más fuerte
But
está tirando.
the advantage of having this leg here means that I always control the center. So if I can go like that, let's say he parries something and I am coming in like this and he strikes, let's say you're also moving backwards, then it's even. Balance is even. Yeah? It's the same. You push those, you see keep the sword in the center, it's more or less the same. Yeah? But if you would have fencing mask on, I am trying to get to his take the center, so it's very difficult. He's in the center because he's strong. Yeah? But if I change my finger around, suddenly it's difficult. Because I have now the center. See? My sword is in front of his mask. It's all because of this leg. If I change around, he is in the center. Change my finger around, I am in the center. Because my support, my balance is here. I switch around. All energy goes in this leg. So the person who strikes with the same strength and has his left foot forwards, when you attack from the right, will control the center.
Esto tiene sentido porque debéis de ver si los dos, si él ataca y yo defiendo, y los dos hacemos el mismo movimiento, es decir, los dos tiramos la misma pierna para adelante, estamos más o menos en una posición igual, pero aquí yo estoy controlando el centro, ¿vale? Supongamos que él está atacando y ahí controla él el centro. O sea, tiene bastante más fuerza él que yo, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces tiene sentido. La persona que ataca desde la derecha y la pierna que sale al ataque es la izquierda, él controla el centro. ¿De acuerdo?
I have advantage.
Y así tiene la ventaja.
Because you can see, same, same. Now, change. Yeah, push to center. So, see, my hand is now here, on the inner side. Change. you should not push it.
Yeah,
Push
it's
it in
deflected.
that direction. You push it there, so now it's the same. Not the same, I take the same. Switch. Switch. Now I am on the left. So basically it has to do with that. So you have a choice. Stepping in, poof, or stepping in, bam. But now I step backwards, so I shouldn't do that. So you go forwards, and it's this exploding, boom. Yeah? So it's one more time, but same, switch partner. But now you do the same till 5 points. But you're gonna really concentrate now on power from the legs. And it's really splitting the floor in two. Boom. Yeah?
Ahora vamos a hacerlo otra vez, cambiamos pareja, hasta 5 puntos, pero esta vez concentramos mucho la energía y la fuerza de las piernas.
Pin, strong.
No, I have to park.
You just carry and move down. So you keep the distance over there. So I immediately come in.
Change
there. So the first move backwards very fast.
In the distance.
Yes. So if I come in, you can only respond when I'm responding. Following you around. And you'll keep the distance, yeah. You can do it with a fencing mask. It's distance management. So,
Es el último ejercicio. Lo podemos hacer con máscara, que estaría bien, por si acaso. Control de distancia y explosividad hacia adelante y hacia atrás, ¿vale?
so every time the distance has to be like this.
Todo el rato tenemos que intentar mantener esta distancia.
So, 1, 2, poco little steps. So I come in, same situation, but he is, he can stand in this position. This is okay. So, because if he stands in the plow, you might step into the point. So I come in and I want to strike. Now use my knowledge, strike fast at his mask. Yeah? So he doesn't wear a mask, so I'm going to take it easy. But basically I'm going to come in from here and boom, I'm going to hit him. He's going to defend. So he parries my weapon, but I immediately move to the other side.
Así veis el escarnio en su total. Me van a dar las campanadas ahora mismo y así eso. Luego te vamos a poner más.
Okay, so I come in. The distance is already too far. So these were 3 attacks, maximum 3. He has to be following me. He has to be able to follow me around. So we could do that now first without weapons. So I come in, I come back, I come in, I come back, I come in, I come back. Just to follow me. I come in, 1, 2, 3. I follow, 1, 2. I follow, I step in. But we don't have so much time. So I'm asking of you to be smart. And do it now immediately with the weapon. So he has to follow me around. You come in immediately. Yeah? So I come in. Keep the distance. Keep the distance. Move backwards. Forward. So you attack me. Yeah. Okay. I attack you. Up. Okay, you attack me a few times. I attack you. attacking him again. So, keeping the same distance. 1 strike, 2 strike, maximum 3. Find a partner, go do it. Ahora! Okay, everybody join in.
So this is the official end of my first workshop here, again in Bilbao 2012. It's really an honor for me to be able to invite it again and to be able to teach. So good to see all the familiar faces.
Bueno, este es el cierre oficial de la primera clase que va a tener en Bilbao, que está encantado de volver otra vez a Bilbao y que le hayamos invitado para venir. Está genial volver a ver las caras conocidas.
I hope you guys enjoyed the workshop on more or less sparring drills, and I hope you guys can have some benefit out of it and maybe take it into your regular classes.
Que espera que os haya gustado la clase, que hayáis conseguido aprender un poquito los drills y lo que estamos haciendo, que os sea beneficioso y que lo podáis utilizar luego en vuestras clases.
And that was it, and muchas gracias. Lunch.
Lunch time.